Gosh, we love our pets. As humans, we love to have the interaction with that furry little thing on our lap. Have you ever wondered, though, how you can save thousands of dollars with just a little bit of money each month on your pet? I've got 10 ways to save money on your pets. And I've got one very big way that I'm going to share with you at the end of the video. Hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, I'm the owner of frozenpennies.com. I'm a financial coach, and as a family, we are debt-free. I also really love animals. We had a fantastic dog for 17 years. She passed away about 3 years ago, and my heart still hurts for her. So I've yet to get another animal because I also understand the costs associated with doing so. And I'm not quite ready to take that leap yet. I created this video right here, and one of the main points that I spoke about was, in order to save money, is don't get a pet. Now, there were some very, very passionate people in the comments, and I totally understand it. I totally get that we love our pets. But if you're struggling financially, maybe getting a pet or having a pet isn't the best idea for you. So I've got some tips for you today to show you how we can decrease those costs associated with pets so we can hold on to the ones that we truly love. Let's talk adopt, don't shop. So if you don't have a pet yet and are looking to get a pet, and you've done the research and you know how much it's going to cost you, and you have a small savings account just for your pet all ready to go, consider adopting a pet before you purchase. There's a lot of pets out there that need homes in shelters. You will probably find one that's perfect for you. It's the perfect size, it's the perfect demeanor, and it will fit into your family like a glove. Adoption fees are generally lower at a shelter than they are from a breeder. And also, many times shelters will include things like vaccinations and health care, as well as spay and neutering in the cost. Now let's face it, there are a lot of cats and dogs out there who need, want, and are looking for loving homes. Many of these poor sheltered animals have been there a really long time. If you're looking for a companion for yourself or your family, consider adopting from a shelter first. DIY pet supplies. Many times pets don't really need a whole lot of expensive toys. They are much happier with things like cardboard boxes, plastic bottles filled with treats, or a towel with treats rolled up in them. Many times you can also hand make or hand sew your own toys for your cat. Consider using old t-shirts, tying knots in them, and using them as tug-of-war toys with your dog. And we all know that cats love cardboard boxes. Honestly, they're not going to mind if their toys are homemade or not. They just want to play with you. Buy in bulk. Consider buying the things that your pet needs in bulk. Many times you'll find that pet food is cheaper if you buy in bulk. Now you have to be careful depending on the kind of pet food that you're giving to your pet. Some may go rancid or stale if you don't use them up accordingly. You may have to put them in, say, a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid and some oxygen absorbers to keep it fresh, but it still might be cheaper in the long run to do that. Also consider buying in bulk medications, tick medications or allergy medications. If you buy them in 3-month supplies rather than 1 month supply, it'll probably be cheaper. Just like if we were to buy our medications in 3-month supplies, many times it's cheaper for us too. Also, I suggest shopping online. Sometimes if you have a subscription for your pet food or pet supplies, then you'll get a discount off of that. Amazon has a subscription and save option, as well as places like Chewy. Years ago at a local pet store, we were involved in a punch card system where if you purchased a certain amount of dog food, then you would get an actual free bag of dog food. at the end of that. So if you buy 10 bags of dog food, you get a free bag. And always, always, always keep an eye out for coupons. Consider regular preventative care. Regular pet visits will keep you up to date on everything that's going on with your pet. It will keep the vaccines up to date so your pet doesn't get sick. Consider looking for affordable vaccination clinics and wellness plans. Many times, senior citizens can get a great discount on vaccinations because of their age. There are senior discounts for pet care too. Preventative care can catch issues early before they become those expensive problems. Let's talk about homemade pet foods and treats. Now you will have to experiment with this a little bit. I know that when my Bella was going through some terrible allergy issues, we decided to try to make her pet food. We actually found it more expensive to make homemade pet food than it was to buy pet food. And also, we probably would have eaten that cost, no pun intended, if the homemade pet food actually helped her allergies, which it didn't end up doing. But homemade treats are a fantastic option. For her, she loved baby carrots and she loved cucumbers. Quick story, she loved cucumbers so much that one time I tried to grow a garden and I had cucumbers growing in the garden and somebody kept eating all of my cucumbers. Well, come to find out, it was Bella. My dog was actually out there chomping on my cucumbers. So needless to say, I was growing cucumbers just for her. There are plenty of recipes online for cat treats, dog treats, and homemade foods as well. Consider also just sharing whatever you're eating for dinner with your pet, as long as you omit some of the spices and the things that experts say just aren't good for pets. And next, consider grooming at home. I know that many people I know have specific pets that need to be groomed. They need to be cut, trimmed, shaved, bathed. Labs are notoriously hairy. So I know somebody who has a yellow lab who takes her to go get washed and cleaned and groomed about once every 3 weeks to try and prevent the shedding. I don't know if it works. I kind of feel like it's actually making her shed more. I'm not quite sure, but I can tell you she smells great and she looks beautiful when she's done. Consider doing that stuff at home. If you live in an area where you can bathe your pet outside in the nice weather, or if you have a pet small enough where you can give them a bath in the kitchen sink, that's going to save you a whole lot of money. There are lots of great YouTube videos online to teach you how to clip and trim the hair and the fur on your pet as well. And then there's cats. Cats, of course, take care of all of that themselves. I mean, you might have to help them with their teeth a little bit, maybe brushing them if they're a long-haired cat, but for the most part, cats are self-grooming. Consider exercise and lots of mental stimulation for your pet. This will help curb any kind of negative behaviors, especially with dogs, and I think even with cats too. My Gram used to put her cat on a leash and walk her outside. Mentally stimulating pets will help them focus and exert some of that energy that they are holding up and may come out in negative ways. Dogs need to be walked. They desperately need a walk at least once a day, especially when they're puppies. Consider lots of playtime as well as DIY puzzle games to help stimulate their brain. The last thing you want is those destructive behaviors to lead to costly expenses, like maybe your glasses. I'm just saying that when Bella was a puppy, yes, she chewed up a pair of my glasses. That was an expensive lesson. One of the costs associated with pets are things like pet boarding when you go on vacation, or pet daycare. Many people will pay to put their pet in daycare while they work all day, or they will pay to house them when they go on vacation. Consider finding somebody that you know, like, and trust, maybe a family member or a neighbor, to help pet sit your pet while you go away. Summer is a great time to hire the kid next door to come walk your dog every day. There are also Facebook groups where you can find in your area somebody to come pet sit, and websites that you can hire somebody to come pet sit. You don't even pay them. They just stay in your house while you're away to take care of your animal and your home. And lastly, let's talk about pet insurances. This is probably one of maybe the most expensive parts of having a pet, is taking care of them, taking care of their health needs, especially as they get older. Many times, pet insurance is the answer. Now, there are pros and cons to pet insurance. Normally, pet insurance runs, some of the most popular pet insurances are Pets Best, Embrace, and Spot pet insurance. Now, you'll get a range of fees, monthly fees associated with any of these. Dogs run between $25 and $36, $11 and $26 for cats per month. But it really does depend on an awful lot of factors: the breed, the size, the age. You want to get your pet insurance as early as possible. So if you adopt an older dog from a shelter, you want to go straight away to that pet insurance to see how much it would cost you to get pet insurance for that dog. Most people, when they get puppies or kitties, right away grab that pet insurance. Like I said, let's go over a few of the pros and cons of pet insurance, because I feel like this is one area where many people don't have a lot of knowledge, and there's a lot of things floating around out there. I know that friends of mine who are dog people and dog lovers, they've had 3, 4 dogs since I've known them. They always opt for pet insurance. They feel like for them, just like health insurance for us, or car insurance, or homeowners or rent insurance, it's a super important thing to have. You're paying a little bit every month to decrease the amount of money that you might have to pay substantially a few times in their lives. Pet insurance may cover a significant amount of costly expenses that you might experience while owning a pet. Things like medications, vaccinations, surgeries, any type of treatment for illnesses or accidents. And peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing that you're not going to have to come up with, hopefully, thousands of dollars when something happens to your pet and they need surgery. You know that this will be the cushion. You know that this will allow you to focus on the recovery rather than coming up with the money or the cost. Many pet insurances have varying degrees or levels of care, including accidents only, illness, and all over wellness plans. This allows you to choose the plan that's right for you and your pet. Many plans include preventative care as well, including annual checkups, dental cleanings, and vaccinations. And unlike some human health insurances, you many times get to choose whatever veterinarian you want your pet to see. If you have a favorite in your town, then your pet insurance will probably cover that vet. Now, of course, there are some cons, like that monthly premium cost. Depending on the size of your pet, the breed of your pet, and the age of your pet, you might end up finding that $36 a month you could put into a savings account and have that cushion in case your pet needs something. It might end up being cheaper to bypass the pet insurance altogether and just start a savings or a sinking fund for that pet. Many times policies have exemptions for pre-existing conditions. If you adopt an older pet and that pet has allergies or a heart murmur or any type of pre-existing condition, pet insurance might not work for you. You might not qualify for that policy. And just like human health insurance, you still might have deductibles and things that just aren't covered. So you may have an out-of-pocket cost anyway. Would it be worth it to pay that premium every month and still have an out-of-pocket cost that you gotta cover. And sometimes filing claims can be complicated and complex. Many times the vet will not help you with that, and it's something that you have to do on your own. Additionally, reimbursements may take time, and you may have to fork out that money up front and wait for that reimbursement to come through. And unfortunately, not all expenses will be covered. Routine and elective procedures may not be covered, and you're going to end up having to pay for those anyway. There are pros and cons to pet insurance, and I really suggest that you take the time before you get a pet or while you have your pet to really examine the numbers and do the math on these things to see if pet insurance in particular is right for you. Would it be better to re-examine these costs and start a sinking fund or a savings account specifically for your beloved pet in order to save money? There are always ways to save money with a pet. If you decide that having a pet is most important to you and the benefits outweigh the costs, then by all means, go for it. But I hope that some of these tips that I've shared with you today will help reduce the costs just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.